Today we are in Leonard, Oklahoma at the Euchee Butterfly Farm. And when I talk about a butterfly farm, it truly is. Joining me is Jane Breckenridge, owner and operator.
Yes.
Look at this livestock you have behind us.
I do. It's a real thing. People don't think that when you think of farming in Oklahoma, you don't really think of butterflies. But yeah, we are a real USDA-regulated working butterfly farm.
Okay, so you're working with natives, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the type of butterflies you're raising here, first of all.
Right. And so right now we have monarchs, we've got pipevine swallowtails, we've got Anea andrea, also known as the goatweed leafwing butterfly. Oh. We're the only people in the country that raise it. And we got variegated fritillaries and painted ladies as well.
Excellent. So what does it look like to raise butterflies? Talk us through that process.
Okay. So it's like any kind of other livestock or farming operation, agriculture operation. I'm just very lucky because other people are dealing with big cattle or hogs or goats or something, and I got these beautiful little butterflies. But it boils down to the same thing. Your animals need good, clean quarters to live in, and they got to have plenty of healthy forage. They got to have a lot to eat.
Okay, and for monarchs specifically, we're talking about milkweed.
We are talking about milkweed.
But each of them need a specific forage,
right? What they call a host plant, and so with each different species of butterfly, they have a different host plant. So, for instance, if we're raising eastern black swallowtails, a lot of people get those in their gardens. They eat dill or fennel or parsley. Monarchs, it's milkweed. Pipevine swallowtails, you can guess, pipevine, right? But the cool thing is with butterflies, you're working with nature instead of against nature on your farming operation, because these are native butterflies, native plants, they want to grow here.
So you're not just growing butterflies, you're growing all of that forage as well.
We are.
And it starts with microgreens?
It does start with microgreens, just like for people.
The different type of microgreens, right?
Because I don't, if you come over, I don't think you want me to serve you a milkweed salad, probably, right? So we use microgreens with the butterflies. To kind of walk you really quickly through the process is we start with an egg. Every butterfly or moth goes through 4 life stages: egg, caterpillar, chrysalis, adult. When they're in their caterpillar stage of their life, they are voracious eater. The very hungry caterpillar, turns out it's a real thing. They're going to increase their mass by over 2,000 times in less than 2 weeks. That's like a newborn baby going to the size of a school bus that quickly. Huge caloric demand. So those microgreens in particular are really packed with nutrients. Okay. So we feed those a lot.
When you say microgreens, that's essentially a flat of milkweed.
It is a flat of milkweed. And so when it just first comes up, it's really, those greens are really, really packed with nutrition. They've not thought about producing seeds yet or putting their energies into other things. So those are really highly efficient in terms of meeting their caloric needs. Okay.
So how long are those caterpillars, those hungry caterpillars, on those microgreens?
So they can, you think about a flat, a 10-20 flat, right? And so they can, if you've got like, say, 50 caterpillars in there, 24 hours, they'll have that whole thing decimated.
Wow.
Yeah, they're so hungry.
Okay.
They're so hungry.
Okay, yeah. So you've got several black little cages behind us. And
yes.
Essentially, they're feeding in there, and then they crystallize in there.
Exactly. They'll pupate in there once they go to the fifth instar, and they'll go to the top of the cage, and they will spin a little silk pad. They'll hang in what looks like a form of a J for about 24 hours, and then they'll shed their skin one more time, and then what's left behind will harden off into the chrysalis. A lot of people think that butterflies are going to have cocoons. Those are silk moths, like those beautiful Luna moths and that kind of stuff. But most of our butterflies are going to shed their skin. It's going to harden off. And then if like they're monarchs, they're going to be the most beautiful green little chrysalid left behind.
They look like jewelry.
They do look like jewelry. I've seen earrings made, not out of the real ones, but trying to recreate it. You can never recreate it.
Yeah, they're absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And so at what point are you then selling your stock off?
Right. So livestock, just like any other, you know, you can sell little ones or the big ones, right? So in our case, we do sell caterpillar kits because those are a wonderful educational thing. We sell them as chrysalids, and we also sell them as adult butterflies. And so we can ship them as well. Believe it or not, they get packed into little special shipping containers and can go FedEx. And the next morning, they can be there at 10:30 in the morning.
Wow, beautiful. And those are little advocates out there, right, for conservation.
So, when people see them, we want them to think about, when you see that beautiful butterfly that we've sold you, we want people to think about, these are really special and wonderful. I wonder what I can do to help make sure that we don't lose them, to go extinction.
Well, that's fantastic. And thank you so much for sharing your operation with us today.
Thank you for visiting. We'd love to share it with folks.
We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.